Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Let's Vibe, the channel all about crystals and our feelings. So, I'm finally making my video for Leo season on the very last day of Leo season. As usual, I had planned on doing the video for Leo much earlier. And by the way, if you hear any traffic noise, I hope it's not too distracting. I've got my window open, and but I don't think it should be too loud. Anyway, so yeah, I was gonna make a video weeks ago, but I was in Washington State. I was visiting family, and I was kind of basically in my hermit mode and didn't really want to talk to a whole lot of people, and just I was enjoying the quiet, you know, the stillness in Washington. It was nice. It was I was there for a month and a half, and I think it was a really good reset of my energies, and it gave me an opportunity to spend a lot of time with nature outside. I saw some really cool animals, including a couple bald eagles, which are thankfully kind of relatively common in Northwest Washington. I saw some red-tailed hawks. I saw a young buck walking through the backyard one day. It was really cool to see the antlers. It's like a small set of antlers, but you don't often see that. You often see the does walking through. Saw some rabbits. There's a lot of rabbits running around in Washington. And what else? Oh, I went to the beach, and this is along the Puget Sound. It's not like the open Pacific Ocean, but I went to the beach one day, and it happened to be, I think it was the day of the full moon, or around the full moon, or no, new moon. I can't remember, but one of the moon phases. And it was an extra low tide. And so at this one beach, they had like a demonstration of, well, they showed people some of the sea creatures that can be found in the shallower waters. And the tide was so low that day that, a lot of these sea creatures were kind of left out in the open. So they had them in these big buckets of seawater. And anyways, one of the creatures was called a moon snail. And it was this big sea snail. And I got to see it out of its shell, like its body come out of its shell. And it was just really like a blob, like a white, round blob. But it was very interesting. And then on my last day in Washington, I saw a doe along the road with two fawns, and one of the fawns was completely white, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, I've seen a lot of deer in Washington, and that is the first time I've ever seen a white deer. So that was really cool. Anyway, so I picked up a few new stones, really cool new stones while I was in Washington, because there's a lot of great crystal shops along the Puget Sound area. And the crystal that I wanted to do for Leo season is a form of obsidian, and it's called Agni Manitite. So this is actually referred to as a pseudo-tektite because it kind of looks like a tektite, or looks like it might be a tektite, but it's actually a very old and relatively rare obsidian, and it's found on the island of Java, I want to say Java. It's found in Indonesia. What's really interesting about Agni Manitite is it can have layers that are translucent, almost transparent, with layers that are opaque black. And it's hard to see from here, but if this was in bright light, like if I held it up in sunlight, you can see very clearly these clear layers and opaque layers. And so that's rather unique in terms of the look of this stone. But what really drew me to this stone and made me want to talk about it during Leo season was that really from the moment I held it, my solar plexus just expanded, like it kind of blew up in a way, in a good way. And it was just a really strong energy of confidence, an energy of joy, happiness. This is such a powerful, like, confidence boost. And that's really unlike any obsidian I've ever held and spent time with. And in that way, it almost doesn't feel like an obsidian. But this stone just makes me think of Leo, because Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is... Excuse these motorcycles. The sun is seen by everyone, and it's shining its light on everyone and everything. And that's Leo. That's the energy of Leo. It's an energy of the spotlight, being seen, but it's also an energy of play and childlike joy. It's an energy of warmth and self-love and enjoying oneself. And so this stone is all of that, and it's you know, I've only had this stone about a month, but I know that it is definitely a great tool for manifesting, because it enhances those high vibrational feelings that are so important and needed for manifestation. um, well, when you're consciously manifesting, you want to use those higher vibrational feelings. But yeah, this stone is just really impressive. And so I wanted to share it. And yeah, this has been a very interesting Leo season for me. I think part of that is because Venus has been in retrograde throughout the entirety of Leo season. And it's been retrograde in Leo, which for me, that's my first house. And so it's been very much a season of self-reflection and really going in and, going into that hermit mode and examining a lot of internal belief systems. And, being around family that added a whole new layer to that. And so, during that time, I definitely was using my crystals, using the energies of these crystals, stones like Agni Manitite, and using these energies to help me stay on a higher vibration, to help keep myself out of the old ruts, which are really easy to fall into when you're back in an old place, a place you grew up. There's a lot of memories, a lot of triggers, and yeah, I greatly appreciate the energetic help provided by these crystals. So if you're looking for a confidence boost, if you're looking for a really powerful solar plexus healer and enhancer, then I would highly recommend seeking out a piece of Agni Manitite. And I realized about halfway through this video that I hadn't thought about a song for this stone. So I'm just not gonna, I might add one later, add it to the description box later on, but yeah, I don't have a song for this stone just yet, but anywho, I hope you've all had a good Leo season, whether it was more on the challenging side or more on the fun side. I hope that that it went well, and I hope you can well, I would definitely hope that you can find crystals that can help, and that's obviously why I'm making these videos. Is yeah, there's a lot of crystals out there. There's so many different challenges that we face, and there really is a crystal for everything. And with that, as usual, please leave a question or comment down below. Also, just a reminder that I am offering tarot and oracle readings. I will include my email address in the description box. So just email me if you are interested in a reading, and we can talk about my rates and whatnot. And as always, thank you so much for vibing with me.